The devil takes what you have earned undeservedly. Welcome back to CK3 After the End. I'm Walker, and here we are about to begin our campaign to reunify Brazil with Queen Gervásia the Righteous. So this is going to be a campaign where we're going to be playing probably multiple characters within the same dynasty. We've been generally moving around a lot, but I think that in order to reunify Brazil, we are going to need some sort of thread of coherence between our rulers. And although we could just switch to one of the strongest rulers and then just try to press their claims from there, I think it's more fun to start with one of these minor characters and work our way up. And here we have, I think, a really interesting character. Queen Gervásia the Righteous, of course, being brave, wrathful, and compassionate. She's a very good warrior and commander, but she's also sort of like a Queen Eleanor of Aquitaine figure, at least in my own mind, because here you can see that our daughter, our only daughter that's biological, was actually born when we were 45 years old. And for those of you who know the history of the Plantagenet dynasty, you know that there were always myths and legends surrounding Eleanor of Aquitaine as being in bed with the devil, simply because she was able to give birth so late in life. And that's probably going to be one of those things that's going to stick around here in this post-apocalyptic world of After the End. Fear of women who didn't reach menopause at the air quotes right time would probably have some rumors surrounding them. But our heir is actually an adopted lowborn, and we've managed to marry her off to a powerful daughter in another part of Brazil. And then our biological daughter we've married off to a daughter of King Cesar. And so we're going to have to do some adoptions here in order to keep our dynasty going. But I don't mind doing that. I think it'll be fun. And also I just like playing with this female character here, because just looking through the files in terms of our title history, it looks like Empress Patricia the Apostolic was actually the last main powerful ruler in Brazil before its collapse. After her death, King Orlando the Timid actually lost control of the title about a generation ago while we were out there playing around in Patagonia. And so we're going to be trying to reunify the realm of Queen Patricia, or Empress Patricia, at least as far as we can. But we're going to be playing as an Architecturalist, which is going to be pretty different from the Apostolic Catholic Church of the de Bragança family. And so we'll see what we can do in terms of bringing our Architecturalist faith to the world. But you can just see what kind of gross border gore is going on here inside of the faiths map. And this is just the way that Brazil operates in the game. We're going to talk about that in a lore video. But because of the Brazilian culture, the Brazilian cosmopolitanism cultural tradition, it's very easy for people to tolerate each other here within Brazil and have a very pluralistic, very tolerant society, with a focus, of course, on becoming as powerful as possible. And that's what we're going to be doing with Queen Gervásia the Righteous. Just see what we can do to restore our power and take back Sao Paulo itself, which has fallen into the hands of anthropophagic cannibals in control of this capital of ours. So we're going to use our allies, push this peasant rebel out, and then see where we can go from there. But you can also see just on this map that there is a colossal war going on in Sudeste. This was the strongest rump kingdom that emerged after the collapse of Brazil, but it looks like they're about to get conquered by one of these other claimants out here, and then we'll see where they go from there. But I think what we're going to need to do here is just build up a little bit more prestige, and then I think we're just going to declare a war here to seize our de jure county, or rather duchy, and take back the duchy of Grande Sao Paulo. Because if we can get our capital here on this Regiopolis, then we can, of course, start working on our control, probably convert them back to our faith, and then hopefully be strong enough that we can do some work on our own. But given that we are thrown out of the capital and out to the hinterlands out here, it's going to be a slow build. But fortunately, we're going to pick up Total War. We could potentially reset our perks and move things over to being an even better military commander if we so desired. Yeah, you know what? We've got the stress. I think that's all right. Let's go ahead and reset our perks. All right, I think we got enough prestige now, and after resetting our perks, we did pick up the ability to extort our subjects, and although that's not really the direction that Queen Gervásia is going to be going in, I think it's going to be necessary just for the short term. And of course, with our prestige, now we should be able to declare war on these guys here, take our capital back, and then hopefully call in one of our big, strong allies, because we are going to need an ally in order to break through all of those peasant rebels. And we did want to go ahead and attack right away, because I do notice that although Cesar is still technically fine in terms of his health, he's 71, and I don't think we want to miss out on this opportunity to take this capital back as soon as we can. It's going to be really, really important for our long-term success and survival, for that matter. Alright, well, we're going to go ahead and engage these peasant rebels right now and see if our allies can help us defeat them. It looks like it. Good. Yeah, I like having a nice, big, strong commander to start things off. Really helpful. Oh man, we destroyed almost their entire army in the first battle. Alright, well, that's a way to start our campaign to reunify Brazil. And it does look like this duchy has territories kind of like all over the place, so I expect that other people are probably going to jump in on that war as we go. As we siege things down, let's briefly talk about the Architecturalist faith. So this is a modernist faith that it looks like has emerged over the time that we've been playing here, because it's not something that's normally on the map, at least not in my memory here in Brazil, but it's a faith that kind of worships the concept of construction. So modernism is another one of those anachronist faiths, like a lot of the other anachronist faiths that people are familiar with, like Americanism, which worships concepts from the old world. But in this case, we worship just the big grand constructions here within Brazil. So we're going to want to pick up Rio de Janeiro and the Cristo Redentor whenever we can. I think that would be fun for a religion that worships the idea of construction itself. And our player heir has gained great eminence. That is fantastic. That means that our heir here, Princess Ana Helena, probably going to be able to do some reunification just through diplomacy itself. Obviously, it won't be able to push our borders quite as well if we're not the emperor, but you know, the more friendly we are with people, the easier it'll be for us to convince them to our side. Oh, excellent. We picked up the athletic trait. This is like one of my favorite traits in the game. Not in real life. Athletic does not describe Walker, but athletic is a great trait just for getting the extra health and keeping us around for a little while longer, which we definitely want to be here. If we can seize control of this, of course, it'll be really great for our long-term economy, because getting control of a Regiopolis and all of this massive amount of tax should do a lot to help us become more powerful. But in order to do that, we are going to need Queen Gervásia to stick around. She is our best commander by a long shot. Whoa, looks like the Kingdom of Canastra is actually trying to besiege our capital over here. Hopefully they don't kill any of our kids during that siege. That would be pretty annoying, but don't think we have the troops necessary to scare these guys off, at least not without our allies. Alright, there we go. We've seized control of the Duchy of Grande São Paulo. I think we're also going to go ahead and just like set up our court a little more for more renown. Generally speaking, getting your renown as quickly as possible is very, very good here inside of CK3, whether it's after the end or not. But of course, that's not just going to be the expansion into Sao Paulo itself. We need to, of course, go ahead and get a really good marshal online, get increased county control here, but we can also seize control of these baronies. I don't like having these Anthropofagic guys around, because these guys are cannibals and that's a little scary for us. But we can revoke their titles because they're just barons. And of course, because we're going to have all this territory inside of our capital city itself, because we are going to move our capital to this barony right about now, actually. But we can take control of the temples here as well, because those are something that we can control directly. And now we're just going to be a lot stronger as we increase our county control here. Oh no! Well, the marriage alliance that we set up for Ana Helena has fallen apart, because it looks like our daughter-in-law has been assassinated by somebody. Oh, and that was actually, interestingly enough, inside the kingdom of Rio Grande do Norte itself. So somebody is definitely going after the royal family over there. That's a little spooky, but, you know, sometimes that's the way it goes. Really, I'm surprised that the Kingdom of Sudeste is still holding out for as long as they are. They're getting crushed in basically every single one of these wars that they're fighting. It's going to be rough for them, but, you know, whoever wins this war and brings us together with another kingdom, that could be a really great opportunity for us down the road, because, of course, our heir, Princess Ana Helena, is probably going to inherit this Empire of Sudeste claim as an unpressed claim. Therefore, will be actual candidate to take control of the empire as things go on. And hopefully once we can take control of the Empire of Sudeste down here, which is a very, very powerful empire, we can use that to take Bahia and Nordeste. And then once we have all three of those, I think we're gonna say that we've successfully reunified Brazil. If we can expand into Osul, we will, but I think these three empires here are going to be our main goal. But of course, another thing that's going to be pretty radically different for us here is that unlike our playthrough down in Patagonia, where you can see the development in Patagonia is just extremely low, the development out here is outrageously high. In fact, Sao Paulo is one of the highest development cities in the entire world, 46 development down there. Even Quito, which we kind of had like tried to press to extreme levels when we were playing with King Vinicio, is still only at 33, and there's really nothing in old America that can really approach it. Manhattan's at like 36 right now. So yeah, it looks like Sao Paulo is actually the highest dev. Oh, nope, Sacramento's 48. But other than that, it looks like we're the highest dev in the world, which means that once we can take control of our own culture here, we should have a very, very easy time just chipping through our technologies. Poor Queen Gervásia, she is starting to become ill and her health is starting to wane. We switched over to medicine focus to see if we can keep her around a little longer, because I would like to fight this empire of Policia down here. But they have 16,000 troops, so we can't do that without allies. And probably can't do that without Queen Gervásia herself, just due to how good a commander she is. La Vital Felizardo has finally passed, died of old age at 69 years old. I mean, he's quite the commander there. Real threat to peace down in Patagonia, but we'll see how the Banda Juventud holds on without their fearsome ruler. Ooh, alright, so it looks like somebody has indeed conquered Sudeste. In this case, it looks like it was conquered by just an outside claimant, Francisco Ursulino the Generous. As a Candomblé faith character, that's going to be a little less threatening to our independence here than somebody who might view us as evil. They consider us hostile, but they can't usurp titles from us, and that's kind of the only important thing. Well, Francisco Ursulino has declared us a Marshal of Sudeste. I like to see it. That's gonna help us out. And at the moment, it looks like the Emperor of Nordeste de Bragança is actually the current heir, because it's an elective title. So I guess we're gonna go ahead and just hop in on that, because the more of these territories we can bring together, the better. It'll definitely help us out if we can unify the titles all together and then put ourselves forward as a powerful candidate to seize control. Oh, this is exactly what we're looking for. So it looks like there's going to be a holy war here, which we could potentially jump in on. Where this is potentially a really great opportunity for us to start expanding within the Empire of Brazil. I'm going to go ahead and send some gold to it, but unfortunately we can't pledge military support because we are not independent, nor are we the vassal of an architecturalist realm. That's unfortunate, but it you know, once we become an emperor on our own, it should be pretty easy for us to hop in on some of those wars. But I think after we're done converting Sao Paulo to our architecturalist faith, I think we're going to go ahead and start fabricating a claim here on Rio de Janeiro, because that is another fellow vassal inside of our realm, and it's a fellow vassal that I think if we're prepared for it, we should be able to defeat them. Oh, right, so there was indeed a succession, and now the House de Bragança is back in control of a reasonable part of Brazil here. But of course, we are going to want to nominate a successor here, and I guess we're going to cast our vote for ourselves just to see what we can get done here. Oh no! And our husband, unfortunately, has died. Well, sometimes that's just the way it goes here in CK3 after the end. And another civil war is going on down here. Oh, man. But this is actually really good for us, because this is this king that we are probably going to want to attack anyway to take control of Rio de Janeiro. And it looks like he's going to throw everything away, just trying to take control of the empire for himself right now. That's dangerous and maybe potentially very, very foolish. Alas, nobody else was able to join in that holy war. So unfortunately, it looks like that first holy war is going to fail, but you know, the stronger that we can get, the more resources we can funnel towards future holy wars in the event that the architecturalists stay on the holy path. All right, looks like the little territory within our kingdom that the Kingdom of Policia had tried to seize for themselves has broken off. So I think we're going to go ahead and just start a little war here, take our land back, and then see where we go from there. We're still at poor health, which means that Queen Gervásia is not going to last forever, but she has done a great job of renovating our military. Look at these crossbowmen. These guys are just going to thrash people if we have to fight on a relatively even forces. And as I mentioned critically, our heir is going to be a very, very good diplomat. 17 diplomacy plus gray eminence means we got some options when it comes to how we expand once she's taken over. Man, this Viscount is going to be really powerful just because they hired a holy order. But you know, that's a lot of troops that we're gonna lose in this little fight here. But the first victory is kind of the most important one. From there, we should be able to siege things down and take control of these very, very powerful castles. Boy, howdy. Well, unfortunately, our powerful vassal here has died during these little wars of ours, but sometimes that's actually a useful thing, because now we're going to be able to educate this Marchioness here and convert her faith, which is exactly what we're looking for. The more stability we can get internally, the better, because we're gonna have some external threats pretty much consistently during the reign of Queen Ana Helena. And speaking of Queen Ana Helena, there she is. So we're going to actually pause this episode here, and then we're going to pick up with Queen Ana Helena's reign as the new Queen of São Paulo. Now, as she is succeeding at 22 years of age, I would be really surprised if she doesn't stick around for quite some time. So that's probably going to be like a 2-episode reign. But as I mentioned, we are just going to play this dynasty through and see how powerful the Francia family can become down here in Brazil. All right, that's Walker. Take care.